Well, just over 66 years ago, that's the house I was born. That bungalow. Obviously, didn't have some upstairs bit there. That front bedroom was mine with the blinds on the left-hand side. That was my bedroom. I grew up there. I lived there for about 10 years. So just over 66 years ago, my dad jumped on his tandem, rode down the village to get the ambulance. So I was about to be ready to be born. The ambulance had to come up here. So my dad had a tandem which had a pedal by himself, a little engine on the back that wouldn't start, of course. It was panicking. So we were born there, and my mum and dad paid that bungalow. It was brand new at the time, £1,300. Sounds ridiculous now, but of course it would have been like a fortune then. And no cars up and down here then. The brand new houses. Three months before I was born, these houses were finished. There's all these cars here now. We used to play around here. We used to be able to play on the streets, of course. No cars whatsoever. Perfectly safe. All those kids on push bikes, or footballs and all that sort of thing. Those were the days. Today, one of my favourite parking spots near Northampton. Well, 10 mile away from Northampton. Let's see up that track up there. Spinning round. Got a field there, just for crops, corn, etc. Whatever. Couple of cars parked down here. Often is. And it goes all the way down there as far as you can see. But this is an ex-railway track going from Northampton to Market Harbour. It's 14 miles long. Being a railway line, obviously it's going to be flat. So it's an excellent track for the old push bike. No real uphills. About 7 miles down that way, there's steam railway enthusiast people. They bought a lot of old trains and bank collars and that they take. People out riding the trains. It's about 2 miles. This track runs along by the side of it, the old track. Field here. Obviously, at the moment, all the trees are bare. So it's in March. We're seeing just little buds appearing. But this field here is often horses. But don't seem to be any here today. But quite often there's 2 or 3 horses. Well, that's about it for the moment. I'll sign off for now. And we'll go and find another spot I'm going to go to. Cut a mile up the road now. Look, Kelmarsh railway station. It amazes me there used to be a railway station here. Stop it. There's a bridge there. Consider it's in between 2 villages. There's one house next door, just to the side of that bridge. Just there. Now, the village is like a mile away each way from here. And they're the closest to the houses. So, not surprising it closed down in 1960. Due to, well, Dr. Beeching, as is well known for closing railways down for. But in this one, I can't see where the passengers came from. Just on that embankment there. Just on the road, there's a tunnel. I think it's about a mile long, which I do believe you can still go through. walking or push biking or whatever. This is Kelmarsh Station. Well, we're now at a secret airfield. Well, it was secret in its day, it's not very secret anymore. Where carpetbaggers flew missions from this airfield during World War II, black B-24 Liberator bombers, dropping munitions and supplies to underground resistance fighters in Nazi-occupied Europe. They parachuted and landed OSS agents into Belgium, Denmark, France and the Netherlands, and Norway and Germany, carry out espionage activities against enemy forces. They also flew nighttime bombing missions. 208 American aircrew gave their lives flying from this airfield. Well, we're suddenly actually on the airfield now. We got Nissan Huts there, airplane engine, broken airplane engine. It's a museum, fascinating place. So it opens at Easter. So it normally opens like bank holidays. Well worth a visit. Hamilton Museum. I went there sometime, about 15 years ago I was there, and I was looking at some exhibits of secret agents, like his knife, miniature camera, a small pistol, and various other things in his exhibits. There's a bloke standing next to these exhibits. And I said, excuse me, do you know what that is, this case? He looked over and he explained all about it. And then he said it was his actual stuff. He was actually a secret agent in the war that was parachuted over to France. In the daytime they hid. In the daytime they hid out. At night time they moved around. So I'd been parachuted in. The idea was to try and find the French resistance, to see what the Germans were doing and help the resistance ruin their war, of course. And of course to find out where they all are. So soon after we invaded France to get Germany out, because we knew what the Germans were doing and whereabouts everything was from these secret agents. It was fascinating to talk to him. I was about half an hour talking to this bloke. I could have stayed there for days. I should imagine he's passed by now. But really interesting. To actually speak to real secret agents from the war, well, that was an honour. Right, see you in a bit. Right, we're to ROC post now. Let's get closer. We're in a farmer's field there. Come on, Tom. What can I zoom in? I'll press that. Oh, there we go. So, not clear, it's not very far away from me. I'll explain in a bit about what an ROC post is. Right, carrying on from the ROC post, which stands for Royal Observer Corps. It's been it ceased to exist now. The actual corps. This is on. If we Google ROC post Brixworth, you'll see it's for sale. And it gives all the history all about it. This picture's actually underground, what it looks like underground. But if you when you Google it and go into it, it's for sale for over £25,000, and it gives you all the history, all about it. So much better than I can. Okay. Well, so parked in the same spot as where the memorial was. Where that tree line, bush line, hedge line, whatever you like to call it. The runway is just inside of that. It's a mile long. It needs to be some cruise goers going up there. It needs to be obviously for the big bombers when they're fully laden with their bombs to take off. They needed a fair amount of runway, of course. Also, you can't see them from here. It's just about halfway along the runway. Just me to get a bit where vehicles keep going by. There's the thermonuclear bombs were located. 2 of them were located. You can still see the blast walls and some of the buildings there, but it's private land now. So it's, yeah, you have to go when the farmer's not about, you can sneak and have a look. But if you look on YouTube, there are videos of Harrington, what would you call them? Thermonuclear bomb site. So you can actually see, but from a drone, they're like drone shots. You can see what's still there. Well, okay, that's it for the moment.